It's like a, aha, I wanted to know this always. An aha realization and wow, things like that. Was there anything yesterday that you did not know and you realized for the first time, or was interesting or good information or anything from yesterday? This is the way I connect to yesterday.
For me, the aha moment was Sankirtan means that we all go back to Godhead together.
Mm.
That was like very soul-touching statement.
Yeah, it's a big responsibility. You thought you could sneak in on your own from the back door. No.
Servant of servants is the topmost devotee.
Yeah, the topmost thing the devotee thinks is a servant of the servant of the servant. Yes, very interesting. What else?
I like the difference between Sankirtan and Sankirtan.
Sankirtan and Samkirtan. Yeah, we should understand Prabhupada's movement and his mission very carefully. Yes, Mataji.
Devotees shouldn't ask for mukti. I was a bit dwelled there before. It's just, I liked that graph where it says, we just ask for Lord service, and if we keep asking for Lord service, then probabilities will keep going up rather than dropping down.
Okay. You like the graph. You like the 0-0 coordinate, mukti.
Yes. And always staying
Tell me.
is God no matter what happens.
Yeah. Yes.
We see others as we see ourselves, and if we see ourselves as a spirit soul, then we can see others as also.
That is Chanakya Pandit's statement. Atmavat manyate jagat. Yeah. Then somebody else raise their hands here. Hey, tell me your names. Kalavati Sundari.
Padmini Gopika Devidasi.
I might not remember everything, but
Jayashri Kirtida Rani.
Jayashri, Padmini, Kalavati, Jyotika, Jyotsna. You're initiated.
Not yet.
Then just name is okay. Tell me.
So from yesterday, I like the point humility, not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less.
Yeah. It's a very difficult thing to do. Yes. By the way, what's your name?
Shuri.
You're sure?
Shuri. I like the point you made, Maharaj, when you said that self-esteem comes when you know the self. Otherwise, you have false ego-esteem.
Yes.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Something really nice to reflect on.
Everybody's talking about self-esteem all over the place
Yes.
without knowing what is the self. Right. So, the puny thing that you see on the thing will become big now. We went through this yesterday. Different levels of relationships and association. So what proportion do you think these associations should be in? If you had 100 points, what proportion should the associations be in? Which one do you like to have most in proportion?
Senior and junior.
Huh? Senior and junior. You like only the senior, peer guys are not very useful guys.
We can cultivate from that, from senior and junior, we can cultivate the place, but
Okay.
those two are more important.
For you it's more important. Fine. What proportion you would think the association would split yourself if you had so much time?
I would say 60%, 70% with seniors and 30% with juniors.
You have seniors, so many hanging around for 70% of the time? Okay. Okay. What are the, anybody else wants to talk about the proportion that you would afford?
40% seniors, 30% peers,
20%
juniors and 10% newcomers.
Okay, great. That seems a little more balanced. But you know, the common, if you look at the common weightage, where do people go spend most of their time? Really? In India it's different. It's the juniors and the newcomers. You know why? Just analyze yourself. Why juniors and newcomers? Yeah, you feel good, yeah. You feel good. Juniors always come up to you and listen to you. And newcomers don't know anything, you can take them for anything you want. And the peers always, I mean, it's okay, but when it's not the first level of difficulty you have, then the seniors are really difficult. So everybody gravitates towards preaching. I want to do preaching. I like preaching. You know why they say that? I like preaching. Why? Because it's like newcomers and juniors and everybody you preach to. Get it? At the same time, seniors are very important to create a balance. I would say you do equal percentage, 33%. And then your life is very balanced in terms of relationships. You get a little knocks from the seniors, you get praise from the juniors, you get friendship from the peers. And that will be healthy association. And that's, I think, what we should aim for in a society. So we discussed this last. We said that association leads to relationships. Relationships is a big topic, both in the world outside and inside. I have found in my own experience that many people, as they become senior, they become more lonely. It's there even in the corporate world. Right? It's lonely at the top, they would say. Because you're capable of something, you rose to the top, and then you have really climbed your way up, or clawed your way up, and you kicked your way up, or some clawed hand kicked your way up. You know best. And you somehow make it to the top and exist for some time, and so that's the way it happens in the external world. But in a Vaishnava society, the person who goes on top is the person who is the best servant, who's got the best service mode, actually speaking. So it's the other way around. But when you have an organization to manage, and you have many things to do in there, with finance, with money, with manpower, people and everything together, dynamics are different. We are not a free society like open, like Lord Chaitanya's time. You can dance on the street and you can accept anybody as guru and you're inspired by anybody and wow, free for all. There's nobody breathing down your neck, hot breath. Did you do that? Did I ask you to do? Did you do this? And things like neither the guru, nor the temple president, nor the GBC or anybody else. There's nobody like that. And it was free. Why it was possible to do that? Because it was Varnashrama institution. People respected each other on the basis of Varna and Ashrama. There was a natural respect. There's a natural culture prevalent. It doesn't have to be taught to people. But we live now in a society where Varnashrama has taken a complete back seat or maybe no seat at all. And so Prabhupada had instituted an organization within which there is some sanity, how to live in a society. So you're making up a society. So this is a great risk. Prabhupada knew that he had difficulties with his Guru Maharaj's society and everything, but he went ahead and made it an international society. Organized it even more, right? And put it together. So organization creates other types of dynamics within our society. Actually, I do a separate session on that, but you have a board here. Can we use that board? Yeah. So can you build that board a little bit? Thank you. I just want to take a peek. It's not part of this presentation, but I just want to tell you that relationships get challenged because of an organizational dynamic. It doesn't write? Yeah, okay, one is enough. Just a small. relationships get strained in an organizational dynamic. To have both relationships nicely functioning and to also execute organizational responsibilities becomes a challenge. Becomes, especially when it is volunteering work, when it's all volunteers. So there's a lot of dynamic in it. It's quite unprecedented and quite difficult many times. So I think ISKCON is still in its infancy in terms of bringing these things together. And there are challenges. And when Prabhupada was there also, there were plenty of challenges. You can see in the Leela-mrita, he's going through all these things. He's trying to tell them what to do, right, what to do. But he had a clear idea that this will work if you follow this. And he was sure about it. It works. But just that sometimes we are not very mature enough to understand that vision, understand that dynamic. I think that we are still in our infancy in terms of learning how to balance some of these things. So their relationships become challenged. And there are all sorts of things that happen to people in a community. I'm just speaking about the sociology of a Vaishnava society. It is not as simple as we always think. There are challenges to relationship because of being very familiar. Once you, like I told you, if you're with a senior and the senior may joke, the senior may do that to keep a light, this thing. But you may become very familiar because of that and lose the essence of what you need from the senior. And then expect other things out of him. And if he has management functions and you are part of it, then it becomes more difficult unless you are maintaining a very mature relationship. There are expectations from people. Especially if you're a senior, there are expectations from you. You give your time, you solve problems, you do this, you do that, and things like that. Wow. That's going to happen often. So these are all things which are quite common. And in our society also, we are battling with many of these type of things. When our dealings become too organizational and too much to do with the man, power, money and positions and all that, then sometimes it tends to be quite materialistic and some people don't like the taste. How do I avoid this? Can't do anything. Huh? Hold this. Hold this way. No, better. Well, thank you. Okay. Yeah. So these are some of the things that I don't want to discuss in great detail, but I just want to give you an idea. But Prabhupada thought about this very nicely. He knows these things will happen. He has experience from the past in Gaudiya Math, and he warned and told us certain things also. So you know this Professor Connell I spoke about earlier. Did I speak about him here? Yeah, Professor Connell was very well known to devotees and everything. He gave a very interesting analysis of what Prabhupada has envisioned and what he has done in his organization. I was very amazed for a non-devotee person from outside to have analyzed this so well. He said that Prabhupada has created two types of institutions. One he called the hard institution, one he called the soft institution. Right? It's two. It's one inside the other. It's something like this. I'm going to give a rough diagram. I got it somewhere, but I couldn't search for it by the time I did it. Why this is important is, excuse me for my not very circular sketch, but why this is very important is we live in this society. I'm just concentric circles I'm drawing. You can see from there? Concentric circles I'm drawing. Okay. Put yourself in the center. You. This is you. Okay? This is the soft institution. I call this a soft institution. You know why it is soft? What does it comprise of? association, relationships, nice festivals, prasadam, right? Relationships, prasadam, yatras, reading Prabhupada's books together, hearing classes and everything together. You like that, right? How nice it would be, it was only that. Would it not be very nice? That's how it was in Lord Chaitanya's time. There's no organization. It's just very nice. Everybody is simply associating for the sake of associating. And that's all. But here comes the hard institution around. This is a hard portion. This is the hard institution. These are government laws. Australian laws are there. The council, it tells you don't make too much noise, don't park here too much. Then you have a court case against you. Then you got to fight that and you fight this and your accounts have to be submitted. There are laws and then how you spend the money or to submit the accounts. You can, 101 things, legal stuff, laws of the land, and all that stuff. Right? This is another part, this is the hard side of the institution. And there are rules and regulations and all that. You like that, right? Which do you like more?
The soft.
Which you like more? Everybody likes to be in the soft zone. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. But this hard aspect is protecting the soft. It's very useful. Some of them work in this portion. Very great tapasya. But most of them like to stick around here. They go back home and they come for this alone and they go back. There are two institutions here. Okay, get it? Most of them generally, we won't tell them anything but they will normally like to come and take this and go away. Me and the soft institution. I don't want anything to do with this. I just don't like it. Why? Because I'm already facing this in the outside world. I go to work. I go and I face all these guys here. I don't want to face it again here. I want to preserve the sanctity of my, exposure and my association with ISKCON. Like only the nice part of it. But this hard portion has got a hard portion inside also. There's the inside of the hard portion, which is facing the soft. And this hard portion's outside is facing the outside. This is the outside world, the world of Maya. The secular world. Do you go this side at all?
No.
Do you come to this side at all? When? When do you do that?
At work.
Not at work alone, but in terms of ISKCON and everything. Do you go to the outside? You do Sankirtan. What do you call that? Of course you're involved. You go to preach. You don't preach, eh? You guys are so selfish. You just think about yourself. You in the center of this. No. The instruction given, what did you hear? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction, who is a Vaishnava? Two things. One is, you serve Vaishnavas and also you preach the holy name. You accept the holy name and preach. Jivera, Doya and Harinama, two aspects. You have mercy for the other souls and you accept the holy name. So would you like to simply soak it up yourself and sit down there and grow fat with Krishna consciousness? Or would you like to share it with others? What do you like to do? So invariably you need this too. And you need to know how to do this here. This is a wild place. That's why you keep hiding here inside. Wow, this is a great place. Isn't it? I'm just saying our own social situation. Why Prabhupada started this movement is for this reason. People need shelter. When they cut themselves off from this whole thing, all your relatives are sitting from there and Googling you. You idiot, you got inside here. And people are talking all sorts of things about the ISKCON movement and da-da-da-da and everything. All this is happening from here all over. Right? Some of them speak good about it, then you like it. Right? So this is the situation. I'm just graphically depicting it to you. Right? So this hard portion, the inside of the hard institution is facing towards the soft. Why? The hard portion is this one. One side of it faces up, other side faces inside. Is this needed for these people? Do things happen here also sometime that need some shake-up and some disciplining? Yeah. So this inside is also needed, even to secure this. And this outside is needed to secure this from these guys. So this hard institution has got a real job to do. You can see throughout the Leela Mirta, you will see Prabhupada setting up the GBC, giving assignments, do this, don't do this. This, suit is filed, they're fighting us again, fight it like this. This happened here, they went, lot of stuff, Prabhupada's, you'll see it's about here. If you read the Leela Mirta. Don't think that it's not there. So many devotees spend their time doing this thankless job. And then many of these people will say, I don't want to do anything with it. I don't do anything with it. Right? They will find. But the thing needs to be done. We have to accept the reality. Otherwise, why did Prabhupada set up the society like this? He put the temple president, the treasurer, everything, and told them these are your jobs to do. He got the movement registered in places all over the world. We registered so many different places. There are laws of the land. All this we have to deal with. So in Kali Yuga, it becomes necessary to do this, to protect this. I'm just creating value for certain of these things. But then there's a dynamic in this. When we are managing this like this, and you put yourself here, you need this and you need this, so that you can do this. You can go ahead, preach and give the Krishna consciousness movement to others. This is a reality. That's how we are. It's not that you have a choice or this thing. Sometimes we don't say much to people who are nicely dancing, chanting and enjoying. When people come in first 2-3 years, we don't say anything. They'll be all here. Be enjoying life, going for yatra, eating a lot of prasadam and going for this and all that. Then slowly you will see they'll be taking up services in these areas. They'll be asked to. And then starts the challenge, boy. I'm just trying to put the picture to you. We need that. We definitely need. So it's not that the hard institution is an option or a choice and you don't want to be involved in it or something. We need the hard institution because it supports the soft institution. Otherwise we won't be having all the so-called fun. I'm not sitting here and speaking to you if somebody did not do all these things. Put this together, got the permission, collected the funds and this, and still maintaining it and putting it together and all that, so that we can sit and do these things. You'll be amazed, parampara, everybody worked hard to do this. I was just in Vrindavan. I was going around to places with some scholars and they were studying Jiva Goswami's contribution. It is so amazing that I could understand that Prabhupada is very much like Jiva Goswami. The amount of things he did with the Mughals. And he knew that in Indian history you will see the Rajputs were in collaboration with the Mughals. You must have seen that. It's a wonderful history. In collaboration with the Mughals, and then in Chhatrapati Shivaji and all that stuff, and then this relationships got strained. Right from Babur in 1526 he started ruling. After that came Humayun and then Jahangir, Akbar and all of them, right up to Shah Jahan. And Aurangzeb imprisoned Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan was his father. Am I right? Yeah, Shah Jahan was his father. He imprisoned him and came to the throne by killing his brother, Dara Shikoh. He was a deadly fellow. Aurangzeb, he just could do even that much. He came to the throne, and then the Rajputs were still in collaboration with the Mughals. A lot of the army was Rajputs and all that. And then came the Maratha clan. They made a big impact. Really scared the Mughals. And they were conquering places, and in conquering they had to fight the Rajputs because the Rajputs were part of the army of the Mughals. So then when they were fighting and all that, certain things arose among them. We both are guys, of the same country, and we're fighting, we're fighting with each other and things like that. So then, because Chhatrapati Shivaji was giving a lot of trouble, so it so happened that they decided that why don't we ask him to come and speak. We can drop a peace treaty. Why need to fight like this? Because he's our man, he's from our place, like thing. But he was a deadly warrior. So Shivaji was called. This is all lesser known history. This is under research. So Shivaji was called and the Rajputs brought him to Aurangzeb, so let's discuss it out. But Aurangzeb was very wild. He was a conqueror. He wanted to conquer the whole of India and make it a Mughal regime and all that. He was like a real Raste ka Kanta, the thorn in the way, and the guy want to finish him. So when he came, first thing he did was to insult him. Shivaji was known to be a very deadly lion of a person. So he told him, don't talk to me unless you stand behind my general. Don't stand in the front. Just a small thing, He told him, stand behind my general. He said, why should I? I'm not part of your kingdom. You call me here to talk, I talk. I am a king. You either respect me properly as a king, why should I stand behind your general? He's your army general. I got nothing to do with you. He said, if you want, I can sit next to you, next to the throne. I'm a king. He was very bold and very confident of himself. So Aurangzeb, said no. And they started having an altercation there together. And then he said, unless you stand behind, I don't talk to you. And then Shivaji is known to have roared in the Sabha like a lion. I'll get you for insulting me, like that. Aurangzeb got very afraid of this guy. He's already conquering and defeating all this thing. He said, I've seen you now, I'll get you. Something like that. So he said, arrest this guy immediately. He's in my place. So the Rajput said, you can't do that. We brought him for peace talks. He's not in war. And you can't arrest a king who has come to talk peace with you. He said, no, I want it done. And he ordered them to arrest. And Shivaji came with his son. Casually he came. He brought his son, see what these guys are about. So both of them together got arrested and imprisoned. And Shivaji swore that, I'll do something about it. And the Rajputs felt very bad that we gave him a word, we brought him and this thing. So the Rajputs got together and said, we shouldn't allow this. Whoever it may be, they may be under Aurangzeb, but in principle it's wrong. It's not a Kshatriya principle because Indians are Kshatriyas, noblemen. But these guys are barbarians. They don't know all this. They don't follow all that. So they got together and helped Shivaji escape. Right in his own kingdom. So he got wild like nothing. You guys, I'll show you. Because, so that's how he broke the temples. He broke the Govindji Mandir, he broke this Mandir, Vishwanath Mandir, he broke the Keshavji Mandir in Mathura, and he's known to have ground the deity and put it on the, mosque way and all that, all sorts of things he did out of anger. Till then, he was even funding the temple management because Akbar did it and all of them were doing it. And seeing this temperament and this thing happening, Jiva Goswami in between, who earlier with Akbar had got a grant for the library, he got Akbar to pay a grant for the library because I told you the manuscripts are all one copy only. He made a library and stored that and made another copy and sent it to Bengal. Then he is known to have done amazing things like take all the deities to Jaipur. Because of Rajput's connection with the Mughals, many of the Rajput kings, it seems he was involved in getting the princesses in Rajput married to Mughal kings. Right? So they have relatives. And I put them in Jaipur. Put the deities in Jaipur, they will not attack Jaipur. Because it's the strong ground, the headquarters of the Rajputs. So he put the deities there. He had a strategy. And then he purchased lands in Vrindavan. He fought and purchased lands. He is the one who bought land and gave to Raghunath Das Goswami for doing his, and Radhakund, he is the one who bought the land. He wrote the will. He did all the details, all the hard institution things. Then he is the one who helped land acquisition for Govindji Mandir. He is the one who worked with two other people whom he knows and got red sandstone for building Govindji Mandir. That time red sandstone was allowed only for the big Fatehpur Sikri mosque and all that. It's very costly and big. You will see Govindji Mandir is built in red sandstone, the best of the lot at that time. And the Mughals were not using it for anything else but building mosques and their palaces. You will see that he got through influence, he got money, he got lands, He built a library. He married off, many of them between this and this for safety. All these are strategies. And it's a lot of stuff he did. So all our acharyas have been involved in doing these things. It's not that you just sat down and just Harinam only. It's not like that. As Kali Yuga progressed, people picture some idealist, I want to sit in Vrindavan and chant Hare Krishna like Haridas Thakur. That's exactly what Prabhupada did not do. He left Vrindavan and labored all over the world for us to be able to read and do this. So should we not also pay back by taking some of these things on us and doing it? We should. So don't think that, doing some of this managerial and organizational stuff is taboo. I don't like it. I'm a pure devotee. I only relation the Harinam and the Bhagavat and this thing and all. Most people who try to do this don't last for too long doing that. Because the Prabhupada said that we are so passionate, you're so Rajagun and Tamagun, you need to do all these other things. It's not that towards the end of your life, Prabhupada said you can retire and do Samadhi in Vrindavan. Till then, he said that, I will do it till my last breath like Arjuna did for Krishna. These were the things that Prabhupada said. So some people don't like it when I say these things, but I think that ISKCON as a movement and the dynamic of the organization, everything is not something you should not be involved in. It's a major service that many people do. And Prabhupada did as a sannyasi, as a founder of a movement. What all he did not do? He collected money, he invested money here, there, printed his books. Just see his life history, what he was not involved in. So the organizational dynamic is not something that we can set aside. There are some people saying that gurus should not be involved in any organization and everything. They should simply teach Krishna consciousness and all that. I don't think it works like that. So you see that if you talk about relationships, you have relationships amongst devotees. Sometimes it's got a problem. You have relationships with juniors, seniors, and you have some people who are wise old people who may not really be very useful in a relationship but still take part in many things. But you as a person, as a Vaishnava, have got specific things to do. You have your own sadhana to maintain. You have your devotional service. You maintain your relationships. And you do preaching because you give it to others. These are the main things as a Vaishnava anybody is involved in. I'm making it very easy. So you should split your time. When I want to follow proper etiquette and be a proper Vaishnava, I must also manage my time. I give time for my service, for my sadhana, spend time on cultivating my relationships. Like what does the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu say about relationships? Very beautiful verse. Yes, say it. Bhojayate chaiva. Yeah. This is Priti Lakshanam. What is the characteristic of good relationship? 6 characteristics. Dadati Pratigrihanati. I don't want to go in that too much because we are... Dadati Pratigrihanati means I give gifts, I accept gifts. Guhyam Akyati Prachati, I'm able to speak my heart out to, a devotee and says, it's troubling me or something. Bhungte Bhojayate Chaiva. People call you home and you can eat there and you can call them home and you can feed them. Over food, a lot of things get lightened and a lot of things happened. I always experience that. A lot of people call me sannyasi home. And this is one portion of the Priti Lakshana that I focus on. I'm sorry. I eat it out everywhere. I'm a foodie. And I use this, of course, just joking. So you do these things, Dadati Pratigrihanati, you may give gifts, accept gifts. And Prabhupada explains that in the Krishna conscious moment we give. Ours is a giving moment. We give Krishna. We give pastimes of Krishna. We give Krishna Katha. We give Bhagavad Gita's teachings to you. We give association. We give you prasadam. We show you the deities. And ours is a giving moment. And seeing that, people also want to give Krishna. They give their money. They give their land. They give their time. They give their brain. They give their influence, they give their intelligence as service to Krishna. Prabhupada explains there in the purport very nicely. But we are a giving movement like that. So in a relationship, these things matter very much. Preserving a relationship, where, accepting gifts and giving gifts, and you speak personally, confidentially to somebody and hear somebody's confidential thing without going and trumpeting it all over to everybody. This guy, Gadadati, Patiginati, Guhimaketi, what he did, this one, whoa, and trumpet it all over the place and kill that person forever, kill your relationship forever, and nobody will want to talk to you. This guy is a real loudmouth. Don't ever do any Guhimaketi with this person. It's dangerous. You will never have a counselor, position. So, these elements of a relationship are very important. That's another whole, session together. So, some things I just want to, bring out from Prabhupada's purports, because some people will say these are not mentioned in there and all that. So, here is a purport that you could read. Here, who's going to read? Jayanti. Can you see that? Read it.
By devotional service, only one elevated to the transcendental planet, Goloka Vrindavana, and there is only devotional service. For the activities of devotional service, both in this world and in the spiritual world, are one and the same. Devotional service does not change. Example of mango can be given here. If one gets an unripened mango, it is still a mango, and when it is ripe, it remains the same mango, but it has become more tasteful and relishable. Similarly, there is a devotional service performed according to the direction of the spiritual master and the injunctions and the regulative principles of the Shastra, and there is devotional service in the spiritual world, rendered directly in the association of Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they are both the same. There is no change. The difference is that one stage is unripened and other is ripe and more relishable. It is possible to mature in devotional service only in the association of the devotees.
Only in the association of devotees. It's possible to mature in devotional service only in the association of devotees. So do you think we should have a good climate and association available to us or not? Who is responsible for that? Everybody. Everybody, right? So we should all meet together and discuss this often. And where are we lacking? What are we lacking? And we should work together towards building a society that helps each one of us. We all need the society, right? Sometimes unripened stage also, it is very palatable. So many are charged. Laughter. You see, it is so nice. Mango is so nice, either ripened or unripened. It is always good. And that goodness may be tasted by different types of men, but mango is always good. Mango is mango, Falka Raja, king of all fruits. So devotional service is the king of all processes of God realization. That is its position always. Either ripened or unripe, it doesn't matter. So what does it mean? As long as a person has taken up devotional service, he may be a neophyte, may be very new, but he has taken up devotional service. So he may be along with somebody who has been for a long time in the movement and is very ripe. He is eating a ripe mango. But both of them are good. Why? Both of them have chosen the mango. That's the point here. Society, you will not always find everybody hanging around with a ripe mango. In fact, we move around with a lot of unripe mangoes. And that may be the bane of our, we have to face it. Kya yaar, kacha wala? Kacha mango, unripe mango, what to do? And we have to grit our teeth and go ahead with life sometimes. It happens. But still the point is that somebody has chosen. That's the meaning of fortune. Fortune means you got to contact a pure devotee of the Lord and get to know about devotional service. This is what is the definition for fortune in the Shastras given by the Goswamis. Prabhupada is being asked by a devotee, one of those early hippie days. He's been in the movement for almost 1 year, 1.5 years. He was one of those people hanging around, drugging himself and killing himself, and Prabhupada gave him prasadam and he started chanting and slowly became a devotee. And he came one day to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, what has happened to me? I changed so much. Someone dumped in the streets, nobody wanted me. And now I am got a purpose in life, got a meaning in life. I get up early in the morning, I chant Hare Krishna. I've got so many things to do. My head is filled with this service, that service, and I'm so excited being here. My life is completely changed. How is it? How is it possible? Prabhupada just turned to him with tears in his eyes filled up, and he said, I brought you good fortune. It's a very, very momentous phrase. He directly took credit and he said, I brought you good fortune. I saved you. Otherwise you'd have been one of those guys. The entire thing changed 180 degrees for you in your life. I brought you good fortune. So he did that to the whole world. He did that to the whole world. Devotional service is very rare. If you read that in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, you'll see Sudurlabha is one of the characteristics of Krishna Bhakti. Not everybody gets it. He has made it very common and available to everybody. This is the work of Bhakti Vinoda Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur and Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur. Made it available. That's our business. We are in the business of making people fortunate. What's it? We are in the business of? Repeat it again. We are in the business of? Yeah. In my website, I call myself Soldier of Fortune. That was long back, I changed it a bit. Because somebody said, Soldier of Fortune is a song sung by Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin. I said, oh boy, change it. You're from the 60s. You know, how did you get this? I said, no, I didn't know that. Changing it. Anyway, so Prabhupada is very, very humbly presenting it. It's me. You change your life. So people change their lives, a lifestyle. It's a big event. It's a very big event. It means of so many hundreds and thousands and millions of lifetimes, we are turning around 80 degrees, 180 degrees. It's not an ordinary event. It's the most fortunate event. So let's not screw it up by some small things like, Prabhu, he said this to me, that happened, the rain, the crow passed stool on me, and so all funny things people get cheesed out so fast. For small things. Boy, you're handling such a huge fortune. You don't know the value of it. Nothing is as valuable as this. Don't trade it for something stupid and spoil your whole devotional climate. If somebody said something, so what? I've got something much more valuable. I have no time to put my energy into that. People who really know the value of devotional life will not spend time like that. So that's why relationships should be seen in that light. And when you don't see it in that light, for the sake of something small, you'll spoil something very big. That's when you do something called aparadha. You screwed it up. Krishna gave you such a valuable thing. You treated it very badly. A Vaishnava carries Bhakti with him. And Bhakti is very dear to the Lord. Right? He comes looking for it in every place where it exists. So if you do anything to that repository of Bhakti, Krishna will not tolerate it. That's all. It's very simple. So one thing is that aparadh can destroy all your Bhakti very badly. So that's why in a Vaishnava society, one of the things you should be very careful about is aparadh. It's the first thing in the holy name. The first aparadh is Paramam aparadam vitanute. Satam ninda paramam aparadam vitanute. Yatakyatim yatam katamu sagate tad vigariham. It says Paramam Aparada. Topmost aparada is to sadhu ninda. So here Bhakti Vinoda Thakur says there are 4 types of sadhu ninda that you can do. To blaspheme a Vaishnava for his or her apparent low birth or caste. To blaspheme a Vaishnava for previous sinful activities prior to one's surrender to Lord Krishna. To blaspheme a Vaishnava for some unpremeditated accidental fall down. To blaspheme a Vaishnava for the last traces of his or her previous sins or faults that are almost rectified, but you see some signs of it. If you do any of these things, it's considered to be aparad, blasphemy. So I don't want to talk about the more gross things that people do. You know, it's a given. It's definitely an aparad. But to find it, if you even think, oh, this guy is, what the heck is this guy? He's an Australian. What does he know about Krishna consciousness? You've done the first aparad. Birth, caste, race, creed. It's not just a racist comment or something. It's an aparad. It's not just a racist comment. Racist comment is nothing much. It's an aparad. It will kill your devotional life. I don't want to go into great detail in this. But Vaishnava aparad is more than just sinful activity. A Vaishnava aparad is much more heavier than a sinful activity. I know everybody gets a little uneasy when we talk about these things, but I'm happy that you're uneasy because this is very important. This is very important. The conclusion is that if Krishna consciousness is covered by material sins, one can eliminate the sins simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But if one pollutes his Krishna consciousness by offending a Brahmana or a Vaishnava, one cannot revive it until one properly atones for the sin by pleasing the offended Vaishnava or Brahmana. This was the course that Durvasa Muni had to follow, for he surrendered unto Ambarish Maharaja. A Vaishnava aparada cannot be atoned for by any means other than by begging the pardon of the offended Vaishnava. You know, when Durvasa Muni ran all the way to everybody else in the world, I mean, Brahma, Shiva, everybody told him, you know, we can't do anything about this. So he went all the way to Vaikuntha Loka, Vishnu Loka to see Vishnu. And he fell at the feet of Vishnu and said, save me from your Sudarshan Chakra. But the amazing thing, he said that I cannot save you from my Sudarshan Chakra. That is controlled by my devotee. That is the most surprising thing he came to know. Aham bhakta paradino hi ashwatantra ivadvijah sadhubir grasta hridayo bhaktair bhaktajana priya. He told Durvasa Muni, Aham bhakta paradino hi ashwatantra ivadvijah. Oh Brahmana, I have actually no independence. Ashwatantara. I am not independent. Aham bhakta paradino. I am under my devotee's control. So don't come to me. Go to my devotee. Go back to Ambarish Maharaja. And he said many more things. I rest in the heart of the devotee, and the devotee always rests in my heart. So you did something to Ambarish Maharaj. I can't help you. Only he can help you. This is an amazing statement in the Bhagavatam. So he ran 6 months back, it seems. 6 months up to Vaikuntha. And he got this message from him and immediately came back with the Sudarshan Chakra right behind him. Even when he came back, even after seeing Vishnu, the Sudarshan was behind him, singeing his backside. Zzz, like that. Ran for 6 months. He, sped down and fell at the feet of Ambarish Maharaj. And Ambarish Maharaj was feeling very bad. He was asking, save me. And he held his feet and all said, no, don't. You're a Brahmana. You're very exalted. You're this and all that. And then he immediately offered prayers to Sudarshana. Oh Sudarshana, if at all I have done anything good in my life, all that good should be given to this Brahmana and you should save him. Stop chasing him. He prayed to Sudarshana. This beautiful prayers to Sudarshana. He prayed and Sudarshana, poof, left in front of Durvasa Muni. And then Durvasa Muni said, how powerful you people are. I didn't know this. I simply did not know the power of a devotee. I am a Brahmana. I thought I'm very great with my tapasya and this and that, everything. So a devotee, Krishna told him, is very powerful. Don't fool around. Right? And Ambarish Maharaj was such a nice gentleman. He didn't break his fast for 1 year. My guest is not available, where is he? So he fasted for the next 1 year, till 6 months up and 6 months down he came. Then he fed Durvasa Muni. And then only he broke his fast. Amazing person. Still he was, very normal. Very normal. So devotee is protected by Krishna, that's why. He's a nice guy. It doesn't mean anything wrong to anybody. So if you harm him, then you harm yourself a lot. So these are extracts from there. So Ambarish Maharaj forgave him immediately. Because of that, Durvasa Muni was saved. The quality of a Vaishnava is, he is ready to forgive you. He doesn't take anything seriously in this world like that. He wants to benedict you, he wants to bless you. He feels that you should also be Krishna conscious. Doesn't matter whatever happened. It is said that forgiveness is a quality of those who are advancing in spiritual knowledge. It's not an easy thing to do, especially if you're really involved. You full heart and soul you put into it, and all these things. But if you learn to forgive, then it's the greatest control you have over yourself. Actually, people for a material reason also, they just forgive. Why? I don't hold this grudge. It's very bad for me. Spoils my climate inside. I just take it and throw it out. I just take it out and throw it out. I don't mind. If you're a very smart guy who knows how to look after yourself very well, you'll forgive immediately. Yeah, fine. Hare Krishna, don't worry, I take it out of my head and throw it out. Because I don't like to keep that with me. It's good for me. So in this way, if you're a person who's really interested to progress in spiritual life, because many things happen in this world. Prithu Maharaj and Indra, in Bhagavad you will see that beautiful instance. Indra was very disturbed by Prithu Maharaj doing Ashwamedha Yajna. He comes and steals the 99th, 100th horse he comes and steals. So that he will not complete 100. Because if he completes 100, he is fit to get Indra's position. So he is really disturbed. So he comes as a sannyasi and steals the horse and goes. Boy, what an amazing. He comes as a sannyasi and he steals the horse and goes. And Prithu's son attacks and chases him and everything. And Prithu says, don't do it, he's a sannyasi. He's not sannyasi, he's Indra. And he's just playing this, and there's a whole argument about what is right and what is wrong and everything. Then Indra goes and complains to Vishnu. So they're doing a yajna. So Vishnu comes with Indra and tells Prithu, why don't you stop the yajna? 99 is enough for you, isn't it? I mean, he's getting really disturbed. He's very disturbed. So Prithu says, if you say so. And Prithu and both of them pay obeisances to each other. It's a very beautiful moment. And they both understand that we shouldn't have done this. We could have spoken to each other, and we got Vishnu involved and all those things together. It's a very nice moment when, for the sake of Indra, Prithu says, okay, I'll not do this yajna. 99, okay, fine. I don't get Indra's padavi. It's okay, if you say so. So forgiveness is important. It settles many things in society. That's also a good quality of a Vaishnava. It's not that you did aparadh to me, let the whole world know about it. No, that's another type of, situation. So devotees will be soft enough to forgive. But at the same time, they want to know that you have learned a lesson. You have changed. That's important. To get freedom from anger, one should learn how to forgive. It's mentioned in the Bhagavatam as a verse. So I thought I'd bring some of these things, important things to you. The behavior of a devotee is really religious principles. This is Lord Chaitanya speaking to the Sanodiya Brahmana when he tells him that I will eat in your house. Sanodaya Brahmana is the lowest level of Brahmanas. Sannyasis normally, Lord Chaitanya is a big level Brahmana family and he became a sannyasi. So normally they don't eat in Sanodaya Brahmana's houses. So Sanodaya Brahmana was thinking he'll not eat in my house like that. But then Lord Chaitanya noticed that he has ecstatic symptoms like a Gaudiya Vaishnava properly. So he inquired from him and he said that Madhavendra Puri's disciple he is. And Madhavendra Puri came to his house and had prasadam. So Lord Chaitanya decides, no, I'll eat in your house. Why? Madhavendra Puri ate in your house and you are a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. And why? He told him, Dharma sthapana hetu sadhura vivahara Puri gosani re acharana se dharma sara. He has done it, no? Madhavendra Puri ate in your house. He has set the right principle. So I will follow him. I'll eat in your house. He ate in the Sanodaya Brahmana's house. And there he mentioned that a sadhu's vyavahara, his behavior, sets the principle of religiousness. So how we behave, people get influenced. We represent the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We represent our Guru, we represent Vaishnavas, we represent Prabhupada, the entire parampara. You should definitely behave yourself properly, isn't it? Dharma sthapana hetu. These are some quick, small things that I thought, this is over. This is the, little thing about a newcomer who comes into the temple. You can go through it. Poor newcomer. Many ISKCON temples, nobody cares for him because everybody is very busy with their services. I call it the poor newcomer. If somebody attend to me, you don't get attention sometimes. I've seen of devotees, a Sunday program over sometimes I just go and talk to people. So I talked to people, I said, so you're new here? He said, no, I've been coming for so many weeks. Oh yeah, which devotee are you in touch with? Nobody. I said, why are you not in touch with some devotee and all that? I don't know, but everybody's busy. He said 7-8 weeks he's been coming to the temple and nobody met him. Nobody met him. He said, I bought a book from the stall and I read it, it's very nice. And nobody's there to speak to him about it. Nobody is speaking to it. Devotees get very busy with organizing things. That the very product of your whole endeavor is standing in front of you. I don't have time for you. It's very strange. It's very strange. No, we're talking about relationships now. I think these people have come all the way, they spend their money, time, everything and drove up to the temple and they come for the Sunday program and they are sitting and watching. All you guys are sitting in, congregation members are sitting in groups and talking to each other. Something hot about this and that. And this happening here. And these guys are hanging around here. Oh, somebody attend to me, boy. Somebody attend to me, boy. Where is the prasadam? I'm feeling very hungry. There's no pujari on the altar. I'm waiting. Right? I want to take darshan. I want some blessing. Something, a flower. Something you give me. Nobody there on the altar. And nobody there in this thing. Some people doing kirtan and dancing and banging the karta like nothing. I thought it will be like bhajan and meditation. And one guy is there sitting in a Padmasana and meditating with the tip of his fingers like that. Everybody is doing all sorts of things and nobody is connecting with each other. Right? Sometimes newcomers, they have one, and or if he goes inside somewhere and sees that, phew, this guy is speaking all these things to a group of people, some politics is going on. They get exposed to these things first in a group. He stands by and watches, what is he talking? My gosh, I thought this is about Krishna, this place. Right? So if you did not see it with your eyes or you hear it with your ears, don't invent it with your small mind and share it with your big mouth. These are simple, these are mainly meant for devotees who are training up. Sanatana Goswami was met by Lord Chaitanya and he was told, "My dear Sanatana, although you are the deliverer of the entire universe, and although even the demigods and the great saints are purified by touching you, it is the characteristic of a devotee to observe and protect the Vaishnava etiquette. Maintenance of the Vaishnava etiquette is the ornament of a devotee." Very important to know. Because, here Sanatana Goswami gets skin disease. And then he wants to commit suicide, he wants to fall under the rath and commit suicide. He doesn't tell this. And he will choose a very hot route on the beach sands to come, because he feels that if I come in the regular route, the pujaris from the temple and all be moving, and my pus and all the wounds and all may touch them, or if something will happen, I'll commit a great offense. So he takes a very hot route, comes to see Haridas Thakur, and then he stays away because nobody should see me. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come and embrace him. And he said, "Don't touch me." And he'll say, "No." He'll embrace him, and of course all that will disappear. And then he will say this to him. He said, "Even demigods and rishis want to touch you because you're such a great Vaishnava." It's a very moving this thing in Lord Chaitanya glorifying Sanatana Goswami for being such an exemplary Vaishnava. That you thought of the pujaris, you thought of others, and you're so careful about your behavior. And so he said, "I will embrace you." He embraced him. And he was so happy. And Sanatana Goswami will, feel very ashamed and very, this. And then time he'll tell him this. "So you are a wonderful exemplar of Vaishnava etiquette, and I want to touch your body to get purified. By touching your body, I'll get purified." He will say this and embrace him. Of course, then all the things will disappear from him. And then Haridas Thakur will make a very amazing comment after this. So this is again, Sanatana Goswami is glorifying Haridas Thakur. "Achar prachar namera karaha dui karya, tumi sarva guru, tumi jagatera arya." You simultaneously perform both duties in relation to the holy name by your personal behavior and by your preaching. Therefore, you are the spiritual master of the entire world, for you are the most advanced devotee in the world. So, behavior matters a lot. A devotee should make an effort to cultivate that attitude inside, so that his behavior is taken care of. Well, I won't do this. Let's skip that. Why does aparadh rise? Because of envy. One who is envious of the Lord and his devotees becomes attracted to bad association. Look at this. Very interesting. One who is envious of the Lord and his devotees becomes attracted to bad association, gradually loses control of his senses and falls down into network of impious life. The innumerable varieties of non-devotees are like branches sprouting from the single tree of enviousness of the Supreme Lord, Krishna, and their association should be given up by all means. This is from the purport in Srimad Bhagavatam. When you start feeling good about people in the outside world and compare them to this and that, and you seriously do it. Jokingly sometimes we do that. But sometimes people slowly drift. One thing is mission drift, other thing is Vaishnava drift, the devotee drift. Unbeknownst to you, slowly you are changing. Why? Because you've done an aparadh and you're becoming envious, and again you've done an aparadh. And Krishna will take you out. I don't want a guy like you inside spoiling my devotees. And how will he do it? He'll create a rationalization in your own head. A rationalization in your own head. Devotees are not good. I go out. He get himself out. He'll like bad association and get out and find himself after so many years doing some nonsense, speaking ill of devotees. But who lost finally? right? So this is a very important point to note. People who seek bad association after being a devotee, they really need some heavy counseling. Vaishnavas, somebody read it.
Vaishnavas are not envious. If a Vaishnava, by the mercy of the Lord, is empowered by him to distribute the Lord's holy name all over the world, other Vaishnavas become very joyful. That is, if they are truly Vaishnavas. One who is envious of the success of a Vaishnava is certainly not a Vaishnava himself, but is an ordinary mundane man. Envy and jealous are manifested by mundane people, not by Vaishnavas. Why should a Vaishnava be envious of another Vaishnava who is successful in spreading the holy name of the Lord? An actual Vaishnava is very pleased to accept another Vaishnava who is bestowing the Lord's mercy. A mundane person in the dress of Vaishnava should not be respected but rejected. This is enjoined in the Shastras, Upeksha. The word Upeksha means neglect. One should neglect an envious person. A preacher's duty is to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead, make friendship with Vaishnavas, show mercy to the innocent, and reject or neglect those who are envious or jealous. There are many jealous people in the dress of Vaishnavas in this Krishna conscious movement, and they should be completely neglected. There is no need to serve a jealous person who is in the dress of a Vaishnava. When Narottama Dasa Thakura says, Chadiya Vaishnava Seva Nishtara
Paiche Keba.
He is indicating an actual Vaishnava, not an envious or a jealous person in the dress of Vaishnava.
Prabhupada made a very strong statement here, right? This is from Madhilila, chapter 1, text 218. And here you will see that Prabhupada is again saying, when they saw that Rupa and Sanatan were fortunate enough to receive the mercy of the Lord, they were so pleased that they all congratulated the two brothers. A jealous person in the dress of a Vaishnava is not at all happy to see the success of another Vaishnava in receiving the Lord's mercy. Unfortunately, in this age of Kali, there are many mundane persons in the dress of Vaishnavas, and Srila Bhakti Vinoda Thakur has described them as disciples of Kali. He called them Kali Chela. He says Kali Chela. He indicates that there is another Vaishnava, a pseudo Vaishnava with tilaka on his nose and kanti beads around his neck. Such a pseudo Vaishnava associates with money and women and is jealous of successful Vaishnavas. Although passing for a Vaishnava, his only business is earning money in the dress of a Vaishnava. Bhaktivinoda Thakur therefore says that such a pseudo Vaishnava is not a Vaishnava at all, but a disciple of Kali Yuga. A disciple of Kali cannot become an Acharya by the decision of some high court. Mundane votes have no jurisdiction to elect a Vaishnava Acharya. A Vaishnava Acharya is self-effulgent and there is no need for any court judgment. A false Acharya may try to override a Vaishnava by a high court decision, but Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that he is nothing but a disciple of Kali Yuga. He's talking about Gaudiya Math and then going to the court, fighting with each other. I say the court judgment is not required to establish who is the real. They're talking about the successor Acharya after Bhaktisiddhanta Sri Thakur left. So why are you telling the court to decide who should be the successor Acharya? So Prabhupada is very pained by those instances. Okay, so I won't move further because, there's a lot of stuff other. I don't want to go too much into it. But I think this suffices for us in this particular instance, that a Vaishnava means, I've done a short course with you because inside there's a lot of practical things. Each one writes assignments, seeks forgiveness, goes through the exercise of seeking forgiveness, writing down one's own aparadhs and everything. It's a whole portion, but I've just given an overview, quick overview, because that's all is possible. So it's important to know who is a Vaishnava, why being a Vaishnava is very important, and it's the goal of our life, and why we should be careful in our dealings with Vaishnavas, and how we should have an aim and a program to actually become a pure Vaishnava. That's the meaning of life. That's what we are doing all these things for. A lot has got to do with yourself working inside and taking inspiration from Prabhupada's movement, the devotees there. And you'll find all sorts of devotees in the Krishna consciousness movement, ranging from one end to the other. But you should be careful about what you want to be, according to the books of Prabhupada, and work towards that. Right? I'll stop here. Om Tat Sat. Any questions or comments? Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. You had put up this slide on forgiveness, 6.2, and it spoke about forgiveness and so many other few things there. Where does this fit in? Like sometimes devotees or people say, I can forgive but not forget. How does that?
Yeah. Depends on what has happened. The intensity of the impact that they have. So, some can choose to forgive, but not forget. The Pandavas did not choose to forget Draupadi's disrobing in the Sabha. They were all great Vaishnavas, right? So, in fact, Krishna reminded him. Reminded when Karna was being shot, no? Krishna told, no, shoot him. And shoot him, no, it's completely wrong. You know what this guy did to you? Wife. He's the one who gave the suggestion, disrober, to Duryodhana. You remember? He reminded him of the aparadha and said, shoot him, kill him. Kill him. So, it's not that forgetting will always be easy. It depends on what has happened. There are different events that happen. Some things, okay, I can forget. But some things I cannot forget. If it's, my wife got disturbed by you and by your cheating into this thing, how is it so easy for me to forget it? I don't have that type of a capacity. So, you may not forget, but you may forgive. Unfortunately, but that's the type of thing you have done to me. That's the level and the intensity of the aparadh. But I can forgive you because Vishnu is saying so, because my spiritual master is saying so, because the scriptures say so. Okay, done. I don't want to deal with you. I'm not talking to you much. I'm not standing in front of you. Maybe like that. You can't get, please give me 100% forgiveness and please forget. You must. You can't. Because it's such a personal thing. It's not that because, it's mentioned in the Bhagavatam, you must forgive me, Can't do that. That's why I said it's a difficult thing to do, depending on the penetration of what has happened. Some people are, very transcendental by nature, very detached. So some of these things that happen to them, the world is like that. He's a Jivan Mukta. He's living in this world as, as a person who's already liberated, so he may not get affected. That's very rare. Mostly people will get affected. You have to wish that he gets Alzheimer's or something. Dementia. Yeah. Anything else? Anybody else? Yeah.
Maharaj, you talk about Vaishnava and ISKCON Bangalore, they do lots of Vaishnava, but still they are
What?
making big temples, they are in...
Still, Duryodhana sent them to the forest and he was ruling very well, it seems. There's no complaint about Duryodhana's ruling when the Pandavas were out in the forest. Have you heard any complaint? He did very good ruling. Kept the praja very happy. So, he's still a demon. A demon is a demon. Why? The criterion is he is against Krishna. It's not about good things that you maybe do in this world. It's about the fact that you are against Krishna.
They are reading Prabhupada's book. They are reading same books. But still they are.
You see, maybe, I don't know, what is the aparadh you have to specify that they did?
They talk about Maharaj and all those things.
Yeah, that's not good. But sometimes they talk about Maharaj who actually left the movement or did something like that. And that even if they are talking or the whole world is talking, all over the social media you see it. So it's not a big difference. But if they're talking about somebody who is not like that, then it's an aparadh. Then it's an aparadh. Even otherwise it's considered to be an aparadh, actually. But in the situation that we are in the situation that are in a flux that, we have to be very clear what we mean by aparadh. Then he will also say that you also did aparadh like this. Like this, like this, like this. You made a mistake like this. Then I'll just be each one firing at each other. But somebody would ask the question that if they did aparadh, how is it that they are worshipping, distributing books and establishing projects and many people are joining them and this and that is happening? For that the answer is the time will tell. We don't know. You do the right thing under your authority. One thing I know is the philosophy is wrong. That much I know. That Prabhupada is a Diksha Guru forever, that philosophy is wrong. Huh?
The Ritwik principle they're following.
Yeah. That Prabhupada is Diksha Guru forever and nobody else should be Guru. That may even be an aparadh because Prabhupada did not say it. To say that Prabhupada said it may not be the right thing. But we don't know. Certain things which are obviously aparadh, we can say so. And other things, we can wait for Krishna to make the decision. First of all, going to court, after what Prabhupada said, see, court and this thing and all that, because he saw the whole thing happening in the Gaudiya Math. And then he registered the society in India in 1971. It is his society, the Bureau Governing Council. I'm a trustee in India, legally a trustee. So that governing council was registered by Prabhupada. And you filed a suit against that society registered by Prabhupada. That's enough. That speaks for itself. It's an obvious. Prabhupada registered the society and you filed a suit against that society. That nobody can wipe out. It stands for itself. In history, it will be there. But nobody here did that. There's so many hundreds and thousands of people under the authority of the GBC, the Bureau. They're doing their services inside. We didn't want a separatist Sankirtan movement. We didn't want it. We want to remain in the Sankirtan. That's the choice. I hope I've answered your question without answering it fully. Yeah. Yes.
If the person is having a power and that power is they are using for the wrong person, wrong things, doing the wrong things, is that forgive or forget?
No, you should correct them. If they don't correct, you have to ship them out. This is organizational stuff. That's why I drew this for you. Where does it fall? Then that has to be dealt with like that. That's all. It's not, you cannot say it is aparadh to do this to me. But we have to protect our people also from you. So I need to do certain things. It's not that Krishna told Arjuna, it's aparadh. I told you in the Bhagavad Gita, don't kill him. He was telling him, kill the guy. What was standing next to him? He was not being emotional and aparadh and I just heard the Bhagavad Gita from you, Krishna. you're told that one has to be anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyam hitam chayat. Speak pleasing words and all. You know what he was saying? He is using all sorts of expletives against each one of them. You guy, I'll get you, you are this, you are rascals. I'm using nice words. On a war field, Kshatriyas use all sorts of words. And did Krishna say, hey, don't speak bad words, I'm standing next to you? No. That's it. When it has to be done, it has to be done. Yes. This guy disturbed your wife and did all sorts of crazy things and cheated you. I should establish dharma. When you're establishing dharma, you don't bring all Vaishnava principles and all that. Because you need to be dealt in this area. You're not being be dealt with like a Vaishnava. With a Vaishnava, I relate. With a non-Vaishnava, I deal with you. When you go across the zone and become a non-Vaishnava, I'll deal with you. That's all. It's the same family member. Yes. And you're dealt with. Bhishma, Kripacharya, Dronacharya, all being dealt with. Being dealt with. Why? Because that's what you need. So we should not become sentimental, because what is at stake is your whole, number of very innocent, nice people whom you need to protect. So when there is abuse of power, we should call it out, and we should deal with it, and we should discuss it. And otherwise, if the man has told this thing, those things we should do. That's why organization is there. If you don't do it, the government will do it to you. Will abolish your whole organization together. Isn't it? The government is going to do certain things to you. If you don't pay the taxes, if you don't do this, if the complaint is going, instead of coming to you, you don't take it up. The people go and complain to the government. These guys are doing this. So then what will happen? That's what happened in India. And we were forced to take action. So we also have duties. We have to act. Om Tat Sat. Any other question? Okay. Jai Ho. Thank you for the Adelaide ISKCON experience. I leave tomorrow to Brisbane and some other places. Hope to see you again. Jai Ho. Hare Krishna.